When could you say that if you had the like pinpoint a time, when did you first start to see that Pete was special?
Oh boy. So I first met him in person in early January. It was at his first, right before his first DNC chair forum. We were in Phoenix. Um, and I met with him. We went through sort of what the drill would be and all the reporters I was going to be setting him up with the next day. And he goes in and sits in with, these national reporters. And this isn't someone who's done this for a long time. And I remember he does his first interview, went well. And then during the second interview, I remember he was talking with a reporter, and the reporter at one point, a female reporter, like her eyes darted over to me, and she just mouthed like "wow" to me, and I sort of nodded back, and I just in that moment I understood that this is someone who was extremely different, extremely talented, and immediately just had that sort of goosebumps feeling about him that this was someone operating on a level that most of us can never understand. And just the way he talked, his demeanor, everything, it was so different from everything I'd seen in politics and certainly everything that was out there at the time that if I had to pinpoint it, it was very early on and it was very clear. And I was, he just knocked my socks off.
So we do call ourselves the Good Guy Pete podcast.
Yeah.
That's typically, that's how we see that description fitting Pete. Do you feel like that's an accurate description?
Yeah, I do. And to me, Pete is the most like courageous person that I know in my life. And when you put yourself on the ballot and you're a young person in politics, that's an act of courage. When you serve your country in uniform overseas, it's an act of courage. When you come out to your constituents in the middle of a re-election year, that's an act of courage. And when you're like 37 years old and you're like, I'm going to run for president, that's an act of courage. And he's just, so he's the most courageous person that I know. I'd also say he's just a really good person, decent person, a good friend. And he makes people around him better, which I think is probably one of his best qualities, is that he makes the teams that he works with, Laura O'Sullivan in the House, current...
Yeah!
The Chiefs of Staff Club, yeah, same shirt. But he makes everybody around him just better, and I think we need more of that in Washington, and we need more of that in the political leadership of our country.